How do you install EG4 Electronics' newest, biggest, baddest wall mount battery? Today, we're going to cover features, install, and monitoring of the 314 amp hour, 16 kilowatt, you heard me, 16 kilowatt of capacity storage. This is the baddest battery that I've got. Today, we're going over it. You're watching Taddy Digest. I'm Tad. Let's go. If you already own one of EG4 Electronics indoor or outdoor wall mount batteries like the 280 amp hour, 14.3 kilowatt battery, you're gonna love the upgrades. So let's go over some of the features, what comes with the battery, how it's packaged, and what you need to know to help you be able to get it out of the box, get it set up, and start the install. So we're taking a look at the top of the battery first. You can see there's a difference, right? We've got these connectors where we can possibly parallel or run those battery cables back to our inverter. The difference is we've got not only DEG-SUN connectors, right? But we've also got a place where we can go straight from our battery to these ring terminal connections. So we can just have a standard cable with a ring connector. I love that because that gives us a different option for connection into the bus bar of this battery. Another thing you're going to notice is this antenna. So we've got a Bluetooth Wi-Fi antenna that plugs in right here on the side of this battery. That's nice. Then right here, we've got some connections. So we can actually wire this up for rapid shutdown. So that is super nice. We've got these contacts here. And to be able to hook up your wire to those contacts, we've got these two plugs with those screws. We've got a Cat 6 cable that comes with it. We've got a pair of cables, black and red, with the DEG-SUN connectors. We've got a package with eye bolts, 2 eye bolts for lifting, and then expansion bolts for mounting. We've also got the X bracket. And if you're not familiar with how to install this battery, I'm actually going to show you a 12K hybrid inverter with a 280 amp hour, 14.3 kilowatt battery, so you know kind of how to install. Now, another thing this battery comes with right out of the box is a couple ropes. You got to have these ropes because this is the box it comes in, and you're going to have those ropes, one on each side. And I need you to know that this battery is about 300 pounds, so super heavy. You're going to have one person on one side, one on the other, to grab those ropes and be able to lift this battery up out of the box. Once you get it out of the box, this is a great thing to have. This is the Power Pro lift, or the PowerLift Pro that EG4 makes. I'm going to show you how to use this. But features, we've got the breaker, just like the other wall mount batteries. That's a great protection there. We've got these screws that you take out to install those eye bolts. We've got a couple handles. We've got our switch, turning the power on and off. And then back up here, one thing I did not cover is we've got, of course, our inverter communication, CAN and RS-45. We've got our battery communication, COM2, COM1. Now, let me show you how this is installed, and then we're going to go look at that 280 amp hour battery. Then we're going to cover this Power Pro, and I'll give you guys a discount so you can save some money. So open up our 12,000 XP. You're going to see these are the cables that go to our battery connection right here. So we got the red and black cable going to the connectors on top of our battery. Then we've got our battery COM hooked up right here. This is our communication cable, and that goes to the CAN port of our battery. Now, let's say we want to parallel this battery with an existing 280 amp hour, 14.3 kilowatt. Easy peasy. We're just going to go from COM2 to our COM at our 280 amp hour battery. Now, the passive active balancing, you may have a question about how's it going to balance. It's going to balance independently. So it's not going to communicate and balance together. It's going to balance independently. Now, if we want to connect 2 of the 314 amp hour 16 kilowatt batteries, say I bought 2 of these, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna install this Cat 6 cable, all right? And we're gonna install from COM 2 to COM 1 of our other battery. We're not gonna go from COM 1 to COM 1. We're gonna go from COM 1 to COM 2, from COM 2 to COM 1. Now, when you get to the second battery that you paralleled, right? You're gonna use this little device here. This is your terminator. So let's say that we take this cable and we go from COM 2 to COM 1. Then the other port, we're gonna use the terminator. That's how you're gonna parallel. And of course, you're gonna take a black and a red and you're gonna go to your Degsun connectors of your other battery. Now, super easy to install. Connect the battery cables to the inverter, connect from your CAN port to your battery COM of your inverter, and then you can see everything. You can see the batteries. Now, let's look at the difference between the 314 amp hour and the 280 amp hour. Talk a little bit about install, then I'm gonna show you the PowerLift Pro, and then we're gonna look at where I bought it and the app. This is the 12K PV EG4 inverter right here, and it's paired with a wall mount battery, except it's the 280 amp hour 14.3 kilowatt battery. We're gonna go over the features. You're gonna see what has changed since you know about the 314 now. And then I'm gonna show you a little bit about install. So I've got the inverter here. I've got the little box, little conduit box, and then I've got my wall mount EG4 battery. So looking at the top of the battery, you can see there's only one type of connector. It's the Degsun connectors. Then moving over here, you can see there's dip switches. So these are for addressing your batteries if you're going to parallel and have more than one. Then we've got the same inverter connection, hooked up our CAN port, right? And then we've got our battery COM. Now, you don't have any of those contacts, so we can't hook up the RSD directly to these contacts because they're not there. So we've got different type of connection for our battery. We don't have the dip switches anymore for addressing. We don't have any of those contacts for the RSD. Now, as far as how this is hooked up, we've got our battery cables going into our battery connections for the inverter. We've got our communication cable coming from our battery COM port to our CAN port of our battery. We've still got the same breaker, still got the same switch. Now, let me show you a little bit of the install as far as to the wall. Let's take a look at the mounting plate that comes with that battery. You can see how the expansion bolt is going through the mounting plate for the battery. The battery sets on that mounting plate, and then there's an X bracket. You see that X bracket? It goes behind the battery and on up to the inverter. Even though the inverter's got these L brackets and you can see the expansion bolt, behind the inverter you can see that X bracket going on up to the mounting plate for that inverter. So that inverter is going to set on that mounting plate, and that mounting plate is attached to that X bracket. I'm going to link a video to this one so you know how to install an EG4 inverter and a wall mount battery if you choose the 314 or that 280 amp hour. So go check out the link in the description. Also, check out that discount code at Signature Solar because that's where I buy all of my EG4 inverters and batteries. So I needed something that could lift this battery up when I got it out of the box. So I got this EG4, what I like to call the souped up dolly. So you can lift up and down using your drill. So I've got my drill attached back here. Take a look at this. Look at that. It can lift up to 400 pounds. I think it's like 441 pounds. I'm pretty sure we got like hydraulic brakes right here, but I'll give you a little demonstration. So let's put this all the way down. All right, so we're gonna lift this almost 300-pound battery with ease. Check it out. Easy peasy. Set her back down. I didn't want to lift it too high without having it strapped, but that's another thing you're going to notice is there is a strap on here, so you can strap it. That way you don't lose it after you lift it. So if you want an easier way to lift your batteries, check this out, Signature Solar. We're gonna look at the app now, monitor what my EG4 12000 XP is doing. Then we're gonna look at Signature Solar's website. Now let's dive into the EG4 Monitor app so I can show you my inverter and what's happening. So we're gonna go with Local Connect, Bluetooth Connect, push OK. We're gonna see top left hand of the screen, it says DJ something. Click on that and you can see now, local monitor. We can see our solar yield, battery discharge, feed-in energy or consumption. Look at our SOC of our battery, so that's great. Look if we're using the grid or we're using PV power. Super cool. Also, I like the fact that if you're using the generator, you're running into the gen ports, right? The gen connections on your inverter, everything changes and you can see that generator feeding power. So just super cool. I love this. Now let's go look at Signature Solar's website. So you can see right here, we've got the 48 volt, 314, 16 kilowatt indoor wall mount battery. Price has been slashed from $4,352 to $3,700. Now we can look at all of the description and the specs. Super cool, 200 amp continuous discharge, just amazing. Cold weather ready. It's got heating built in, super nice. 293 pounds, UL, so got the certifications. You can see the dimensions and then warranty, 10-year warranty. Awesome, I love it. Link in the description for Signature Solar's website and a discount code so you can save some money. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something. If you did learn something, let me know what it was down in the comments. You got a question? Remember, questions can lead to new content, so put your questions down below. But if you don't have a question, that's okay. Let me know who you are and let me know where you're from. Remember, I put a video down, the link in the description, that shows you how to install this beautiful wall mount battery with an inverter that EG4 makes. So go learn more and click the link to that video. Also, don't forget, there's a discount below for you at Signature Solar's website. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, smash that bell, ding, so you know what I'm doing. You've been watching Taddy Digest. I'm Tad, and I'll keep you cool if you let me.